Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. This is a Roman Gladius. This is what we're forging today. Thanks for being here. Stay tuned and watch how I did this. Gentlemen, so this is going very well. We have the piece of steel cut, and we're now going to load it into the forge. The forge is scorchingly hot. This particular piece of steel is a piece of 1055 carbon steel, so it's got 0.55% carbon. This should help make a Gladius that's not only going to be able to have a keen edge, but still remain flexible and not too brittle that it will break under Roman combat. So we've taken the piece of round bar and we've started flattening it down and drawing it out, starting to have the length and the width that we're going to need for this Gladius. Back into the fire we go for another heat. So we're now working on the point of this Gladius. I'm working over the far edge of my anvil, which is lovely. It's a nice and aggressive way of forging the taper while also keeping it actually relatively neat and under control. So I'm going to bring it down. I don't need to go too much more than that, but I am going to extend that off a little bit. I need to bear in mind that as I thin down this material, you see it's still quite thick right now, as we go and thin it down, this taper will extend. So I'm merely, for now, roughing in the shape that we're going to need. So now I can come back to the anvil, give it a brush. This will take all the scale, the iron oxide off the surface, and then we can start cleaning it up again. Taking the flat side of my hammer, gently working the tapers down. The reason that I'm tapping the hammer so excessively on the anvil is there's so much radiant heat that even just by hammering, that radiant heat's burning me. I'm trying to take a little bit of a break, let myself cool down there. There are loads of different reasons as to why it is that I'll sometimes tap the anvil. Oftentimes, I mean more often than not, it's because I'm trying to look at where it is that I'm going, trying to plan the next step if I don't have a clue what's happening. So that's a big part of it. So it means I can keep the rhythm while I'm hammering, while I'm thinking. You know, I don't have to stop in midair while I'm going. I can dribble the hammer, bounce it off the anvil, and keep going. So that's why you'll often see me do that. In this case, that's just because that's one hot little puppy, and I am burning my hands.
You can call me stupid. Yes, you can call me sheep. You can say I'm lazy. You can say I'm weak. You think that using her would get to me. And if you're right, then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D. But when it comes to her, you better keep it sealed. Don't you dare say a single word, or I will strike you where it feels. You think that using her would get to me, and if you're right, then you're in trouble, D. 'Cause I won't break, no, I know I won't wait. You're in trouble, D.
So what we're now doing is we're working down the bevels. I'm roughing in the bevels with the hand hammer and hot, forging in the bevels. On previous swords you've seen me do, not that I've made many, this is the third one that I've worked on. On previous ones I've often just forged the profile and then ground in the bevels. Reason being, then I have complete control over the straightness of the thing. I'm not so worried about forging the bevels, I'm worried about the whole thing being straight at the end of it. So that's, whoa, I mishit there, you saw it, it was on camera. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my time, angling this from side to side, and doing just a little bit at a time so we're not making it go cattywampus and bent on us. Taking my time, taking it slow, making sure that we make this thing as neat as possible, so that then when it comes to finishing it up at the grinder, there's a lot less work to do. So I've got most of the bevels roughed in here, but it's not very straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to work out the twist and just straighten this ever so slightly by clamping it in the vise and looking down the edge here and just kind of tapping it away. This is obviously one of the difficulties of working and forging the bevels. Is keeping things straight and consistent is a lot more difficult than when we start with a flat piece and all we do is scribe a center line on a granite block and then you just work to that center line. Here, things are moving, it's hot, it's supple, it's moving about on us. So I want to take my time now and make sure everything is straight and nice and neat. So we're now going to flip this around. We're going to put it in the forge the other way. We're going to heat up what is going to become the tang, and we're going to go back to the Pilkington power hammer and draw down the tang to what it needs to be. Ladies and gentlemen, what a thrill it has been to have you here in the workshop today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do drop a like, leave a comment below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe because we're making amazing videos just like this almost every single day. It's a lot of fun and I want to bring you guys along. So hit subscribe right there. There are 2 more videos that you can watch right over there. And most of all, have a fantastic day and I will see you tomorrow.